Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to a brand new sound design tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to create this acid lead. Alright, so we're going to be learning how to create that, and sorry about my sucky piano playing skills. I do have some cables over the piano, so I was trying not to hit them. Alright guys, so it's been about 2 weeks since I released a sound design episode, so I am going to be releasing some tutorials more frequently now because I had that big gap where I didn't release any sound design. And the main reason for that was because I was trying to learn Serum, the ins and outs of Serum, because I am going to make Serum my main synthesizer now. Especially since, you know, it came out, it's been amazing. It's so clean, better than Silent and Spire. I think Spire is up there with Serum. And honestly, I tend to use Spire more for my trance productions. But whenever I'm making big room house for customers and all that stuff, I use Serum now. It's like Silent and One and Massive put together, but on steroids, like Techno Clash said in one of his posts, which is pretty right. Alright guys, so let's get started with this acid. So straight away what we're gonna do is an oscillator to A, we're gonna have it turned on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here, and I believe we go to analog wavetables. So when we click here, you're gonna have analog, digital, spectral, user, and vowel. Pretty much what these are is different types of wavetables, and they're all, you know, based, like the analogs can be based off, you know, like the Moogs and all that, and then digital is mainly based on, you know, stuff they were using. I don't really know what's the difference between analog and digital, to be honest. I just care more about the way they sound. So we're gonna be using BS2 acid, the wavetable, and it's gonna look like this. What we are going to do is we're going to put a unison of 2, which is pretty much stating how many voices are coming out of this oscillator. And in this instance, we have 2 acid coming out. We're going to turn the blend all the way to the right, even though we're not really detuning, just for the hell of it. And pretty much we're going to turn the level up, and we're going to be done there. So this is going to be a fairly simple sound. But if you guys wanted to kind of, you know, get it a little bit more advanced to where you add movement to it, you guys can apply an LFO to the wavetable position here. And what that will do is it will change the way it sounds, and it will give it some movement. So you'll hear the sound sort of change a little as it goes. But we're already going to leave it like this for us, because we already have our bandpass, which is going to be a type of filter doing the work for us, creating movement. And it's very fast movement, and that's how you get these acid type sounds, which we will talk about. Okay, so once we have this, we're pretty much going to go into our filter. We're going to go into our multi and choose a BP12, which stands for bandpass 12. And what we're going to do is put the cutoff all the way down. We're going to put the resonance down here. And then we're going to have the pan to the right a bit. Let's just put it back to the center of the stereo field. I know why I had it like that. And all you want to do is just have it like that. We're going to increase the drive, which in essence is going to increase, pretty much is going to boost the filter. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, filters and EQs are very similar. If I wanted to create a bandpass right now, what I would do is do this. For 2, I would put a cut like that, and then I would do a cut like that, and here we have pretty much a standard bandpass. And when we put a drive, what we're necessarily doing is we're just boosting up like this. So if I wanted to do it more better, I would get the 1 and do a high shelf. And this is pretty much what we're doing when we put the drive. We're increasing the amount of volume of the frequencies that are being let out here. So that's what we're doing with that drive, and the fat just overdoes it. So what we're going to be doing is putting a drive up to around 9 o'clock. In essence, all that's going to do is make it louder. And you know, in EDM, everything tends to be loud. So I feel like making my sound good straight off the bat, not making them sound wimpy and weak, and just getting them strong straight out of the synth is the best way to do it. Less processing, and that's going to give you guys a lot more CPU power. So that's what we're doing here. Now, what we're going to be doing right now is applying an envelope. So we're going to go to envelope 2, which you'll find here. And we're going to be putting pretty much just our sustain down. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it so that the decay decides how fast something occurs and goes down to our 0 value. So what we're going to do is leave decay straight at 12, and we're going to leave the attack there by default. We're going to route this to our cutoff. And when we do that, you should see a blue line outlining it now. Now what we want to do is pull that blue line to around 12 o'clock. because we don't want the filter to go all the way open, because then we won't even be able to hear it. And next we're going to put it to our resonance as well, which is going to pretty much cause us this as well all the way to the right. So in essence, this is what's going to sound like if we leave it like this. And I don't, if you like that sound, then by all means you can leave it like that. But what I like to do is have the resonance a bit more down, around 12 as well. And then you guys can play around with it to how much you want of that resonance. But I'm gonna leave it around 1. I don't really want that acid type sound to really come out hard. So we're gonna leave it like that. Now what we're gonna do is one of the most important parts about sound design, and it's the effects section. In the effects section, what we have right now is a distortion, and we're gonna use a tube distortion, and all we're gonna do is boost the drive up to around 3 o'clock, which in essence is gonna distort it a lot more. It's gonna increase the drive of it. We're gonna be putting a reverb, and all we're gonna do to the mix is put it at 20%. And then we're gonna do an EQ. We're gonna switch it to a high shelf, and we're gonna increase the gain to 2 o'clock. We're gonna put the quadrant at 2, and that's the quadrant affects pretty much the transition here from the boosting point, as you guys can see when it starts to boost, if it's smooth or straight out strong. So we're gonna leave it around 2, and then we're gonna put the frequency we want it to start at around 22,000 hertz. So around there should be fine. And in essence, we're gonna be getting this sound. All right, now here's where you guys can deviate a little. There is a compressor in Serum, and if you put it in multiband, it's amazing. So if you guys want that more crispy sound, you turn on the compressor, and you're gonna put the multiband on, and in essence, it's gonna sound like this. A little bit more crispier when you turn it off. So it's all up to you guys how you guys want it. Now, the final thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the voicing section here. We're gonna make this a mono type sound, so only one note can be played at a time. We're gonna be turning on the legato, which is gonna allow us to mess with the portamento here. And my portamento is set to around 111 milliseconds, and we're gonna put it as always, so we don't need to hold down the note while we transition to the other to get that slide effect. So we're gonna leave this like that. You can make it more drastic if you want, but you won't be able to hear. It takes a while. That's how it's gonna sound like. So we're gonna have it at 100 around there. And there we have it, guys. So pretty much this is a standard acid lead. So we're gonna save this in our desktop. It's gonna be saved as some world acid pH level. Alright guys, so that's gonna be the name of the preset. You guys can download it on my page at evilsounds.com if you guys desire. Please don't forget to like my Facebook page at facebook.com/someworldmusic. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube for more sound design tutorials. Hopefully I make some of the sounds you guys have been seeking to get. And as always guys, make sure to support my banks if you guys can. Check out my music, and I'll see you guys next time.